excited you are here. Are you Hot in Cleveland fans? So very, very excited when they asked me to do this because I jumped for joy because I absolutely adore these ladies. They are the nicest, funniest, most amazing women you could ever meet. And you actually will get to see that and talk to them up close and personal. And I'm sure they already asked if you had any questions. You can make them as warm as you want. They like them hot too. So if you got any hot questions you want to ask them, they'll go with you. So without further ado, I'm going to start. Where am I going to start? Because I know you want to talk to the ladies. We're going to introduce. Are they ready? Are my ladies ready for me? Uh-oh, they look good. You ready to start? All right, we're going to introduce Victoria, who is played by Wendy Malick. Come on, mama. Not too many people can rock orange pants. Look at you. Woo! Joy is played by Jane Leeves. Lady in white. Come on, girl, with the skinny jeans on. And Melanie is played by Valerie Bertinelli. Got our leggings. Hi, ladies. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
It's so exciting to be here with you. You look good. You all look good.
You look good, too.
Thank you,
Look
but
at
like
you.
in real life. Like it's not photoshopped.
No, this is it.
This is it. Well, I have to. Okay, so let's start. So you
Look
have
at those hot pink pumps.
Yeah, I know. And my feet are killing me. So I'm like really glad to sit down. But I want to say, first of all, congratulations because you are going on 100 episodes of Hot in Cleveland.
Yay!
And I mean, this is a big feat because a lot of shows don't make it past like a season, 2 seasons.
Past 12.
So every time you get a pickup, it's like tears of joy
Yes.
because you're back on the air. But we absolutely love seeing all of you guys. Where's Miss Elka, Miss Betty White?
Probably with a bear somewhere or a tiger or.
She
I'm
loves
not
her
kidding.
animals.
I'm not kidding, by the way. Yeah.
Why does she not fly? Does she not?
She's had it with flying and.
I think she has about 6 million miles under her belt, and so that's enough. And now she can stay in sunny California with all of her animals.
So if we had told Betty White that there were going to be animals here,
She would have been here.
on the
she would have been here right away. So 5 seasons, 100 episodes. What is it feeling like? Are you guys tired?
No.
No,
I want to do 10 seasons.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
To do 10 more seasons.
You
Well,
frighten
okay, 10
yourself
more.
by thinking it might end because I can't imagine not having these ladies
I know.
every day in my life.
Yeah.
You
You
sort
know,
of
it's like
get
a touchstone.
you sort of get used to seeing
Yeah.
those same old faces every day.
But on a typical day at Hot in Cleveland, what's a typical day like for you ladies?
Well, we start very early. We're in at the crack of 10:30.
Crack at 10:30.
Yeah, and
We're getting so much.
yeah,
help.
we sit
we sit around for the first half hour and just jaw.
have coffee and
have coffee.
chitty chat,
Chat.
while the crew stands around looking at us, and saying, "Come on, we've got to work." And we're like, "In a minute." And then we sort of rehearse the scenes, block them out. And then we have a leisurely lunch of about half an hour where they set up this lovely buffet backstage.
You guys have good food
Yeah, we
on
do
your
have
set.
good
I have
food.
to
And
say
it's
that.
very healthy.
But it's healthy. And then at like 2
Yeah.
o'clock,
1:30, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, we do a run through for the writers so they can see where there are, maybe areas that need help or how great it is or whatever. And then we go home.
Now, and then you go home. That's
but that's only
Yeah,
only
but that's
3
only
days.
part of our days because
Yeah.
then I go to the grocery store, do grocery shopping, pick up my kids from school, go home and have a whole other life.
Yeah. Well, but then on Thursdays, as you know, because you've done our show, Thursdays we show up at 7 a.m., hair and makeup,
That's your
work
tape
all day.
day.
That's our tape day, our
Right.
pre-tape day.
Okay.
We tape all day. We, usually Jane is the first one in and the last one out. And she lives the
Jane.
furthest away.
It just
Yeah, but
works
she's
out that
the
way.
youngest, so that's only
so it's
fair.
okay.
By
It
a
works out.
year.
And so we have a long day that day. That's usually maybe 10 to 12 hours, and that's as bad as it
That's
gets.
grueling,
And then
grueling.
on Friday we come in like 11 o'clock and run through it all for the cameras
Right.
again, and then we do a show at 6 p.m. for a live audience.
5,
You
isn't it?
guys
Is it
just
5?
did. Is
Oh.
it 5? You just
changes.
did. Did you see the live episode that they had done? The live episode was really great. I was very nervous because I didn't, it's live. So you can't, when you're taping
You do
the show,
live every day.
And we make mistakes every day. Every day we're messing up at that table. And Barbara Walters is looking at us like, you are in so much trouble. But when you were doing live, there was no room for error. How was it when you did your live show?
It's so exhilarating.
Yeah.
It's really exhilarating.
We sort of got hooked on it.
We
didn't
did, but the writers were really, really cruel because we had the hilariously funny Dave Foley on the show, and they gave him a line and told him, "Don't tell them that we're going to say this line." And
You can't work with Dave Foley. You can't do it without laughing.
no.
Why does he make you laugh so much?
There's something so dry about
He's
him.
Canadian.
Yeah, that's that in itself. Yeah.
That sums it up.
But he said it. He said this line to Valerie. Unfortunately, I was hanging out of a window at the time, but you can see me shaking away laughing. But she was just like,
I
she lost it.
Yeah.
She lost
Live.
Did you make any mistakes during the live episode? that we
Actually, it
didn't know
was
about?
pretty together. It really
Yeah.
was. But it's like being shot out of a cannon. And what you realize is Betty started out in live television. Everything was live in the old days. All those Playhouse 90s and all the comedies.
This is old
and-
hat for Betty.
It's old
She used
hat,
to do
but
5
it's
or
true.
6 hours, didn't
Oh,
she?
she'd do 5 or 6 hours of live television a day. She just had to make it up as she went. But for us, it was true. It's kind of like doing a play, except you're doing it for like millions of people. But
Hopefully.
it feels like we all held hands, and we do this every week anyway,
Yeah.
and said, okay, all for one and one for all, and we're leaping into the abyss. And then before you know it, it's over.
You
It's
pulled it
so
off.
fast.
Tell me, we're speaking of Betty White, who plays Elka on Hot in Cleveland. She's such a wonderful woman. It was such a pleasure and an honor to work with Betty White. What memories or what experiences have you had with Betty White that you could share with us?
The best
what's she
experiences.
like?
The best experiences I have with her. She has a wicked sense of humor, and if you can make Betty laugh,
She's pretty raunchy. Miss
she
Betty.
can be, but it's But
Yeah.
if you can make her laugh, it just makes your heart sing. And sometimes it's just a look. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm very naughty in a scene, and we'll have had a thing going on earlier, and I'll just turn around and go. And you hear that Betty laugh, and it just makes your soul sing. It really does.
What about you, Wendy, with Betty?
With Betty, there are 2 things I am most appreciative of, and one is her sense of gratitude. And every day I wake up, and the first thing I say to myself is thank you, no matter what happened the day before. She just makes you realize that this is not a rehearsal, and you have to make every day count. And one of the things she told me early on was when people come up to her and say, "You know what I hate?" Betty says, "No, and I don't care to know."
What about you, Valerie?
Well, she really is the epitome of choosing happy. But she does know that you have a choice every day in life and how you look at life and how you take what comes at you. And she chooses happy every single day. She does not let anything get her down. She has done our show with cracked ribs. She has done it, and she would never grimace until like you turn around, and I would catch her when she thinks nobody's looking. She'll you can see, but she got right through it. She did it. No one would ever know except we did know, and of course we were very protective. But this is a woman who literally does choose to be happy every single day of her life.
But also, I think she absolutely loves what she does.
Yeah, you can tell.
Absolutely loves it.
But you can tell that you all absolutely love what you do. Every single one of you have been on a hit sitcom. So now, how is it being together, working together? And we see so many stars that have worked together, and then you hear they hate each other. But you smile, even when I
These
saw you
bitches.
taking... Exactly, and that's how people feel. But they took pictures backstage, and her head was on the shoulder of another one. How are you guys still getting along?
We've been
I've got all these
friends.
episodes.
We've been friends for like 23 years.
Long time.
Valerie's son Wolfie was friends with my nephew when they were like 18 months old, running around in their little speedos.
Tiny things. Yeah.
They were so cute.
Wolf the game.
Wolf Game, he used to call him. Yeah.
Wolfgang, now he's Wolfie.
And I always remember Wartins.
Yeah.
Wolfie used to call water Wartins. So we've been friends forever.
You got your own
girlfriends.
shorthand code.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
girlfriend code. And this old boot, she. I just adore you. We worked together on the last year of Frasier. She
Yes.
came on and played a love interest for John Mahoney, and as
So I am her stepmother on Frasier because I married the father. Yeah, and I had never met Val until right before we did the pilot, and we all went out for lunch, and she ordered the first drink, and I thought, okay, we're good.
we're good.
It's all good. We're all
good.
good.
I'm the lush.
yeah.
How this come about? How did you guys get it? Did they approach you? Did you have to audition for this role?
I think
What-
they sent each one of us the script, and I was told that Betty White was playing the part of Elka,
Okay.
and they're trying to get Jane Leaves and Wendy Malick to play the other roles.
And
I
they
said,
told
if
us
you can
basically
get
the
those
same
girls,
thing.
They told
I'm
us
doing
all the
it.
same thing.
Yeah.
you
They
know.
told you all the same thing.
Yeah.
We've got Wendy Malick and Valerie Bertinelli, and we're trying to get Betty White. And I was like,
And
oh, I'm
meanwhile,
in.
they're just
I'm in.
hoping everybody says
They're
yes. at the
telling
same
everybody
time.
else the same thing.
So they were hoping everybody said yes
Yeah.
and would sign on.
Well, I did say, I said, if you can get those women, I'm in. If you can't get them, come back to me and we'll talk. I don't know. We'll see. But I thought I would absolutely do a show with them.
Now, your chemistry is very, very evident. Was it that way when you first did the pilot? Because sometimes people have to get into a groove.
No, and you never know what's going to happen until you sit down for the first time with everybody else in the cast and you read the script. And we were there with all the people from TV Land. This was their first scripted show, and the writers. And we've got finished reading the script, and all looked at each other and went, "Oh my God, I think we got another brass ring." I mean, you could tell that
Yeah.
something
Something
unusual
special.
was going on there. Yeah,
You
yeah.
get that feeling.
You sure
You,
do.
you get a feeling when it's right.
And when you're on a panel with people that you can like bounce off of and play with, and it's all fun, and everybody has their own voice, and it's kind of all working together. You just never know.
You do, and you just love being there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the thing I love about Hot in Cleveland is you guys have gone through so many hills and valleys and journeys. There's some really crazy stuff going on. You got to explain this. We're going to show a clip. There is somebody. Let me see. Who is it? Mel, you're dating a cannibal. You have got to explain. We're going to show the clip first.
Yeah, okay. Because
You wanna set it up?
Well,
Are
we have these every year. We have a show called Birth Dates. This wasn't Birth
no,
Dates?
it wasn't birth dates.
Oh, well, never mind.
No, the last episode is birth dates.
okay. Yeah, sorry.
So this is a difference.
So she's not going to set this up.
I'm
so
not
you
gonna
don't
set
know
this
what-
up,
You're not
Sherry.
setting this up. We're
No,
going to show.
you wanted her to go
It's
out
something
with him.
I had to do something for you,
Yes,
so I dated a
because
cannibal
she's trying
for
to get
you.
nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, right.
so
Okay.
She wants,
Yeah, that's it. Let Jane talk.
Aren't you glad you got your girlfriends? See? Let's see this clip. Now the cannibal.
He's a lone survivor in a plane crash.
Oh, so he had to eat
So he had to
somebody.
eat
So I mean,
somebody
it
and he
wasn't
liked
his
it.
fault.
This is for the one of the upcoming episodes that is going to be aired.
And the cannibal is played by.
Chevy Chase. Yeah. How is that? Playing with
It was,
He was perfect.
interesting.
Very interesting.
I've known Chevy for a very, very long time, so I can handle him.
Yeah,
just say
you
that
have to know
much.
Chevy for a long time.
Yeah.
You do. Now, doing this show, I was going to ask you about your love lives on the show because some of you have really. I'm not going to name any names. You've been around. Let's start with you, Wendy. Let's talk about.
No,
your love
I
life.
don't get a lot of action on this show. I think Victoria is pretty much in love with herself, and a few people come and go. She loves her friends, and when she
I
can
remember
remember their
Dan
names, she
Loria.
loves her kids. Oh, Dan Loria,
Dan
actually.
Loria from Wonder Years.
He's one of my best friends, and he came and did an arc with us, and he ended up being a very unlikely and adorable love interest for Victoria this year. Yeah, he was good.
Lovely.
Yeah. But these two slut
Yes.
around a lot more than I do.
I'm the slutty von Slutstress of the show.
Yeah, you've had. Is it Craig Ferguson?
Oh, Tim Daly.
You've had
Craig
Tim Daly.
Ferguson,
And let me see. Oh,
Dave.
Tim Daly was very yumtastic.
Yes.
Tim is on tonight. His
on
first
tonight,
show is on
yeah.
tonight.
Tim is
Yeah.
on tonight. Okay, so what's it like with your co-stars?
Nice. Nice.
That's all you're gonna say.
It's also
She's
a little bit-
snogging up everybody. What are you talking about?
I get to snog a lot of men, and it's.
But
nice.
fortunately, the guys you snog with all make you laugh. So
They
it's all
do.
and
It's-
those
it
scenes are
usually
so
ends-
silly. They're always so
We're
silly when
always
you
so
have
silly.
to do
It's
those
always,
romantic
like you're going
things.
in for the kiss, and you both go.
And how is okay? I want to ask this. How is it? No, Valerie. First, I want you to talk about your love life. Then I'll ask the question I was thinking about.
I don't remember ever since Jay Harrington left. I haven't had much of a love life, had I?
Jack
No.
Wagner was.
I think
on
you're
there.
holding a
But that was
torch.
very,
Very
brief.
brief,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
had a long arc with Jay Harrington, who's on a new show now for TBS, I want to say.
Okay.
I might be wrong. But loved him. I don't know why that man's not a huge movie star. He's really amazing. But I haven't.
Tom Arnold.
Oh, Tom. I ended up in bed with Tom Arnold, but we didn't do anything. We just ate.
I want to know when you when you have a love interest and you guys are already friends, or they make you laugh and you have to do your kisses. How do you do that and make it look so convincing?
Well, you don't.
You don't. You
Not that
laugh.
convincing.
No,
we
but
did-
if you're totally like making believe, you can't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I hate
and
it.
sometimes when it's, I know she's probably the
Why
least
is she
comfortable
squeamish?
doing it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't want to kiss anybody. Sometimes I don't even want to kiss my husband. So to have to kiss
Honey,
somebody
this
that's
is not therapy. We're just
Okay,
talking
oh, right,
to
sorry.
people who watch the show.
Thought I was just my therapist there for a minute. No, but I'm so uncomfortable kissing someone that I barely know, even if I like them, because I don't want them to think that I like them
That
that,
you
way.
like
I mean,
them,
I
yes.
go like I'm in junior high again.
But you know what? And in a comedy, it's easy because it's not sort of,
Right.
It's not sort of raunchy and it's funny, and you always end up laughing, and if the guy is great, it's just funny and sweet.
And I like it.
And you
and
like
Wendy
it.
Oh my
likes
God,
it.
Wendy gets into it.
Oh, you get into
Yeah,
it,
we have
Wendy,
to
when you're
calm
doing it?
down.
Huey Lewis?
I'm very method. Yes.
Huey Lewis?
Oh, Huey Lewis.
She likes-
He was
Please
very easy.
Detail
He was
Huey
very easy.
Lewis. You like that one with Huey Lewis? Yeah.
Oh, not only that, but she's doing the scenes with Huey, right? And then she has to do some other stuff. Then she sends him out on errands.
The kiss did all
Wendy,
that?
no, Wendy
What did
Malik
you-
sends
He
Huey
offered.
Lewis out on
He
errands.
was my honeydew
Well, she sent
that
him to
week.
the drugstore to go get her some stuff while she was busy on set.
And that's what they
And Huey did it.
That kiss. It was that kiss. huh?
See, it works.
Wow. You guys, I am loving you. I have to ask you about the upcoming episode. It's the first time that it's going to be an animated episode. Now, this is really interesting because all of you ladies get to go to Elka's apartment. You've never been in Elka's apartment. It has been a mystery. And once you enter Elka's apartment, you go on a complete psychedelic ride. You
like the Wizard of Oz,
It's like,
or-
the
Like
Wizard of
Alice
Oz.
going down, going through the looking glass, and we literally open the door, and on the other side of the door, we're all cartoon characters, and it's so fun.
So
We
how
get to
is that doing?
sing. We have a really good
Could
time
be
in
good
this.
or not.
Well,
Yeah.
well, when I'm singing, not so much. But it's just really,
You
really
were
fun,
fabulous.
really fun.
You were great.
And we got to do things that you can't do. The writers loved it because they got to really do things with our characters they never could do.
Right.
Yeah, we had
The writers had a
yeah.
great time. Did you see Suzanne was beaming
Yeah,
when she was
yeah.
And
listening
we
to
have
it.
an incredibly fun guest star, but we're not allowed to say
we
who
can't
it
say
is.
who it
Guest
is
star
yet.
is. Can't give us a hint, anything?
See,
It's a secret.
it's so amazing.
It's a secret.
He's a really good dancer.
Oh, okay, you said he.
Oh, so okay, so we got
it's
that.
a man. Big whoop.
It's
I
a
can
man.
say that.
could be a. There's
I figured
that's
it was
half
a
the
man.
population, dear.
You guys, so this is animated. How is it when you're actually on the set doing it versus your voices? Do you give it more? More.
Well, they hadn't done the animation yet. They'd only shown us, what our characters would look like. They were still kind of fine tuning them. So we went in and laid down the tracks, and then they were going to animate around our voices. But so we just read it like you read, a script, and
I think you
we all
did-
went in together and did
Yeah.
it.
I think you do tend to sort of go more balls out because nobody's looking at you, and you just. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 'cause
did
we
you
more
do
chances.
You worry about the faces you're making sometimes, and we didn't.
Oh,
with
we were
this.
probably hamming up a
Oh,
storm.
we were hamming
yeah,
it
we
up.
were hamming it.
I want to show another clip. Do we have the other clip of Elka? Elka is doing a play. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
She was
We
doing-
haven't seen this episode yet, but I can't
This
wait
is for
to see
another
this one.
upcoming episode. You guys are going to see her do a play. So this is for another episode that's upcoming. Let's take a look. So tell us about that episode.
Oh, it's fantastic because she's written a play, and it turns out the play is really about us, and she's cast all these people as us.
Super heightened versions
Heightened
of what she
versions
thinks we are.
Of what she thinks we are, and it's hysterically funny, and also a heightened version of who she thinks she is.
Yeah.
Can we
Yes.
say? Can we say?
Can we
who
say
plays
she is?
Elka?
Who plays Elka?
Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan. Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys have the best guest stars on your show. In fact, I remember Regis Philbin was Elka's lover, and
Well,
besides
one of Elka's
one
lovers.
of she had John Mahoney who worked with you on
Yeah.
Frasier. Carl Reiner was one of them, and Chris Elliott, who I adore.
Chris
Chris
Elliott.
I love
Elliott.
Chris Elliott.
Chris
Yeah.
Elliott. So can you tell me some things, funny stories about either of the guest stars you work with?
Well, everybody seems really happy to be there, but the men
We
can
can't get
only
rid of them.
visit, and then they have
Really
to go.
The funniest one was Alex Trebek. I mean,
tell me.
we created a monster.
He's used to standing behind
I mean,
a podium all day.
Yeah, he said we
really
really couldn't get rid of him. He was on, he wanted to be in every scene. He just was
He was
hanging out,
ad-libbing like crazy.
ad-libbing, and I there was a scene where I was hanging out the window, and I'm hanging out, and there he is, and he's like, "Hello," It's like
He didn't want to leave.
oh, he didn't want to leave.
No,
he loved
he
it
loved
because he
it.
said he's so lonely because he stands.
It's only him.
It's only him. Yeah.
And you guys are so friendly. I have to tell you, working on well, wait a minute. I have a clip of me.
You. Oh,
you
yes.
know I had to bring a clip
Yeah.
of me. I've got to play a judge on the
And
Hot
you
in
were
Cleveland.
brilliant.
Let's see. Oh, well, thank you.
You were
So
very
subtle.
very
I should
convincing.
have been nominated for an Emmy for that. Play that. Let's look at this clip. I understand why the guest stars don't want to leave your set because it's so much fun being with these women and working in a sitcom. And I've done a whole bunch of them. When you work with stars, a lot of stars will go, why can't I have all the funny lines? And you ladies, including Miss Betty White, are the most giving to be able to sit there and let me have all of these funny lines. At any moment, I was like, somebody gonna take my line away. They're gonna take it. But you don't mind.
No,
other
we go
people
for the
coming-
funny. Who's going to be the funniest? Go for it. Shine.
Well, how are you guys so down to earth and humble? Because you are big, huge stars.
We've been around the block many times.
Yeah, it's I think it's age and experience, and we're just so happy to still be doing this thing that we love to do. And when we get great, funny people, it makes our job so much easier.
It's also priorities, you know. We have lives beyond what we do and families, and that, believe me, keeps you.
Yeah, it was never any. Oh my gosh, this Valerie's in her dressing room. She's not coming out. Never any of that. When I
I love to watch my people on the show. I'm a great audience. I enjoy being a
She
part of the
watches all the
audience.
rehearsals and everything, but with Valerie, it's just when is she going to get here? She lives the closest to the studio, and she's always the last one to arrive.
She always late, Valerie.
Always.
Oh my gosh! Before we go to the audience, what do you guys like to do for fun when you're away from the set?
Drink.
My kind of girl.
And I love animals too, and I love to ride. We have horses and a little miniature donkey and a bunch of dogs, and like spending time with my family and my pals. And
What exactly do you do with a miniature donkey?
you simply love him.
You just love on a donkey.
You love him and just appreciate how adorable he is.
I
He
got
does
you.
nothing but make you smile.
The miniature donkey. I'm gonna have to go back and see, maybe get one of those. What about you, Valerie?
I love to cook, but I can't wait to get back to this. Like when we take a month or two off, I'm like, when are we coming back? When are we coming back? Got to get back. I miss the show when we're not doing it. This is fun for me because we did our last show, like 6 weeks ago? Yeah, and I missed everybody. And I got to see Betty last weekend because she is a big cheese at the LA Zoo, and she has her, thing, her, Beastly Ball. So I got to see her last weekend, and it fills me up with joy. And I love to spend time, obviously, with my family, cook for them, and blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's my thing. Family.
Family.
And I love cooking at night for them. It's sort of a meditation, chopping vegetables and.
So having something outside of it keeps you, seems very well rounded.
Absolutely.
All right, I know the audience they're chomping at the bits. They have questions. Look, I'll tell you, your hand was up. Not me. Hi.
Hi, thank you for coming. I'm actually an intern with TV Land this summer, and I wanted to know if you had any advice for students that want to get into writing, specifically for sitcoms after graduation. Like, which city should they live in? What kind of jobs should they look for? Stuff like that.
I think it depends on what you want to write. I know. I mean, I don't know much about it, but I know some of our interns have. Sort of been promoted to writers' assistants and that sort of thing, and that's their way in.
And then they actually wrote a few episodes in the last 2 years. Some of our, our interns, and then the writers got to know them. So what you're doing is correct. Start as an intern and work your way up from there, and then start showing them your work.
All right.
Jane, I'm a big Benny Hill fan. You were in Benny Hill show, right? You were so young, so
That
cute.
ages me. Yeah, I was very young. I actually only did a week's work of sketches with him, and it was pretty much my first job. And I had no training whatsoever. I went in, and he'd hand me a script and say, "We're going to do this sketch. You have to find a maid's outfit. Go to wardrobe." And I was, because I had no idea what I was doing, I wasn't afraid. So I just come up with all these silly accents, and and it was just so much fun.
So many guests were on the show. I love, but my favorite were like Jennifer Love Hewitt, William
Jennifer Love Hewitt,
William Shatner,
William Shatner.
and then Tim Conway. So I want to ask a question each. Who was your favorite and who was really fun to work with? Thank you.
Who was your favorite person?
It's so hard to answer
Sherry
that question. Who
Shepherd.
is our favorite and who is the most fun
That's
to
always
work
the
with?
go-to.
Yeah,
No, you were so fun. You were great.
Yeah, we've had so many wonderful
Yeah.
people on that show. Gosh, I don't even
John
know.
Mahoney. John
and
Mahoney,
John Mahoney, who
'cause
we
he's
adore.
my you know,
But
I work-
I have to say, for me, the biggest thrill was probably Carol Burnett because I grew up watching her, and I always thought, God, someday I would love to be able to do what she does. And she played my mother on this show, and every once in a while, and she was so real and down to earth and warm and generous, but I would just look at her and think, I can't believe I'm sitting here standing on a set with Carol Burnett. That was so thrilling.
She actually got the longest ovation from our audience
Yeah.
too that
Yeah.
anyone's ever gotten.
She's-
And
yeah.
she just drank it in, and she was so.
It was
Did
really-
she tug her ear?
They asked her to do that and the Tarzan yell, and she
Yeah.
did them both for them.
I love it. Do we have any other questions? All right, we have a gentleman over here. Susan Lucci, we heard that. Wait, the microphone is coming
Is
to
she
you.
ever going to be a friend?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they may end up together someday because they're both so insane. Although I have to say, she is such a great lady. I mean, she's like a really normal person in real life. It's so funny she would let us use her real name. She played such a lunatic. But sometimes I think those people who are your arch enemies, your rivals throughout your life, sometimes you have much more in common than you realize. And maybe ultimately they will get to a point where they go on vacation together or something. I don't know.
Hi, Valerie. The
Hello.
fifth time I'll be seeing you. I love the books that you've been writing before. Now you've done the first two books that covered up to a certain point. Now that you've had all these years on Hot in Cleveland, will the next book be about Hot in Cleveland?
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I've not started it. I'll probably start another cookbook before I do that. But I just thought people were tired of hearing all my verbal vomit.
No. The audiobooks are really good too.
Oh, well, thank you.
like the
I appreciate
audiobooks.
that. Thanks.
Any other TV movies that you might be thinking about doing?
No,
TV movies.
I'm sorry. Am I not working hard enough for you?
Well, no, you're not. No, you're
you should
not.
become a Betty White fan because she does a heck of a lot
I
more.
love Betty White. Does she, when you see her every week, does she do a little Sue Ann Nivens sometimes? Does some of that character come out in what she does? Because I always thought that was the best character
Oh,
of Tyler Moore.
well, that's probably my favorite Betty White character of all time is Sue Ann Niven. I told her that, and she's just such a dream and such an honor to actually be on the same set with, let alone, have her write me handwritten notes when she feels like it. I mean, I save all the handwritten notes she's written me. She's just one of those people that you feel like you're a better person when you're in her surrounding. And I feel like a better person. She makes me want to be a better person.
I feel like you're a better person when you're around Betty.
And that would be true.
I wanted to ask you really quick. I know you guys have a really big social media presence. What's your Twitter names?
At Wolfie's mom.
Mine's Wendy Malick.
And Jane leaves.
And Jay Leaves. You really.
Well, I need Twitter to help me.
You need Twitter to help you.
There was a young man that ran 3 blocks to get my autograph, and I
Okay.
couldn't stop and sign it for him, and I feel like shit.
Because
I
you-
really did. I really feel so badly. I want someone to find him through Twitter, tweet me at Wolfie's mom, find this man for me, so I can send him something. I
So
feel
that's our assignment
horrible.
on Twitter to help
Yeah,
find this gentleman.
help find this gentleman who ran 3 blocks to
I'm
my car
surprised
and
he's
couldn't
not
touch it.
here. He was really.
He hates me now because I didn't sign anything.
He might be here, but we will find him on Twitter.
Oh,
we will
please
help
help
you.
me, Twitter.
Okay, I know someone had a question.
Actually, my son wanted to ask, but he's a little embarrassed. He wanted to know if you all weren't actresses, what would you all be doing for a living?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I would be a veterinarian.
Me too. I love it. Yeah, I would be a veterinarian.
Why didn't you do
too.
it? Were you bad at science too?
Yeah, I was horrible at science. I
Yeah.
couldn't dissect the frog. It was terrible.
Then it might have been a problem for you to be a veterinarian. I'm just saying.
But you've actually birthed a horse, so you
I
could
did. I
do
birthed
it.
a horse. I birthed a beautiful buckskin.
With your own 2 hands.
Well, I was in the hayloft for 3 nights, and the 3rd night it stopped raining, and I was listening for my mare, her water to break, and it did. And there was this perfect little colt right there, and I helped her get the afterbirth off, and I knocked on his feet and blew in his nose and imprinted with him, and he is now 13 years old. Yeah.
I did the same with my kids. Blew up their noses, imprinted.
So what would you be doing?
I would
Jane?
be, God, probably in jail. No, you know what? I'd probably be a nurse or a doctor or something. I'm
you
not
guys all
bright
love blood, don't
I'm
you?
not bright enough to be a doctor. I'd probably be a nurse.
Be a nurse.
Yeah.
You're very compassionate.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I mean,
You're very neat and tidy.
I'm quite tidy. I like to. No, but I like. It's like when I'm on the plane, I want to help. You know, I don't want to sit in my seat. I want to help them tidy up and hand things out.
Maybe you could just be a waitress.
Yeah, there you go. But I like the idea of nursing.
Of nursing. And what about you, Valerie?
If I wasn't, I don't know, because I've been doing
you
this
could
since
be
I
a
was
chef.
11 or 12.
A chef.
I would love to be a cook, a
Yeah.
chef, but they work so damn hard. I would want to more delegate it and say, you do that and I'll do this. Maybe I'll be a sous. I'd rather be a sous chef, and because I like to prep everything and then let them cook over the. Actually, sous chefs work harder. How can I be in a kitchen and not work hard?
Be the taster. Be a food critic.
That's
A food
that's
critic
what I'll
would be
do.
good. A food
Yeah.
critic would be really, really good. That was a really good question.
Thank you. Hi, I'm a huge fan of your show. Thank you for coming today. My question is for Miss Malik. One of my favorite jokes on the show are all of Victoria's TV and movie critics, like she mentions. Is there something that stands out for you as particularly funny?
I thought you were going to talk about Ms. Lady Pants. That's my favorite Victoria
That's one of
thing.
mine, too.
No, every time I say, I once did a Lifetime original movie called, there was one called something like The Asphalt Sidewalk or something. I mean, they're so ridiculous, and each one seems to get more and more insane. Although then I see these Lifetime posters all over LA,
Yeah.
and they kind of are
And
like
guess
that.
what?
Yeah, and I have done Lifetime original movies. No, that's just, it's a wonderful conceit, and we're so lucky. We have the best writers on this show.
But I think they have more fun coming up
Yeah,
with those
it's kind of like
titles.
with Jane. She does really dreadful poetry. Joy does. I mean, the poems are so bad, and the worse they are, the better it is.
And she goes into this weird voice when she does them.
I was a bird on the wing of a
An ode to flowers by Joyce Cox.
You guys.
Sounds nothing like me.
Ladies, it has been so wonderful sharing this evening with you. I know some of you have to get back on a plane tonight. Can you give them one more hand? Wendy Malik,
Thank you, Sherry.
Jane Leaves, and Valerie Bertinelli. We love you so
Hey,
much.
thank you for
Sherry.
coming.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
5
much.
seasons. They've been picked up for a full season. So you will continue seeing the ladies. Hopefully for another 10 years we get to love on you. Thank you. Give them a